Hey guys, Jared here, and today we're just going to do a quick room tour video. The reason for this is in the near future I'm looking at upgrading a fair amount of stuff that I have in my room. So I thought for my own reference in the future, and if anyone was interested, I'd just do a quick video showing what I currently have. I'll try to leave some links in the video description of some of the things that I have in case anyone's interested, although do be warned, some of it's a little old, so I might skip some things entirely depending on how old they are. For instance, PCs approaching 5 years, so I probably won't have any links for anything in that. Alright, so starting on the left, just some drawers, just full of paperwork and spare cables, that kind of thing, nothing too interesting. On top, dinosaur, because it's cool. And two mobile device stands, so the one on the left is just a random one I picked up from eBay for a couple bucks, and the one on the right's the Cooler Master Jazz Mini. I haven't really used them too much because I found that they slide around on the desk a lot, so not that useful, for me anyway. So now we've got the QNAP TS870 8-bay NAS. At the moment I have four 4 terabyte WD RAID drives in here in RAID 6, so that gives me 8 terabytes of usable space. I've got 3.5 terabytes free at the moment, so it's okay for the time being, but it is nice having those 4 additional bays, which allows me to upgrade in the future if I need. So that's pretty cool. On top, we've got original Raspberry Pi. It's got some additional heat sinks which I added because I was testing that out. They don't really help that much, just in case you were wondering. So on the Edge headphone stand, I've got the audio-technica ATH-M50Xs. I got these recently. They're actually pretty decent. I haven't really had too many other headphones, so I can't really comment and compare them, but yeah, they definitely sound pretty good. I'm liking them so far. So the microphone here is a Blue Yeti. And the pop filter is just a random pop filter I got from eBay for like $5 or something. Not the best, but it does the job. So the speakers here are Logitech Z5500D. So normally there are 5 speakers, but I've only got 2 on the desk at the moment. I don't really use them that much, mainly stick with the headphones. But yeah, they're pretty good. I've had them for about 5 years, but yeah, they still work alright. So onto the monitors here. So these aren't very good. They're the BenQ G2420 HDs. Basically, when I got these almost 5 years ago, my criteria was buy the cheapest 24-inch monitors that I can find, and this is what I ended up with. So the viewing angles aren't really good. I'm really keen to replace these in the future, although the problem I have with that is to get a higher resolution than 1080p I'll need a new graphics card, and if I'm going to replace the graphics card I feel like I might as well update 90% of the computer, so where does it end? I might as well just wait until I go ahead and rebuild the whole thing before I upgrade the monitors. Yeah, they've been okay I guess, just 5 years has passed, there's way better technology out there now, so pretty keen to probably look at getting a 34-inch widescreen monitor in the future. That would be pretty nice. And over here we've got an interesting cup of water and my phones. So on the left we've got HTC Desire HD, almost 5 years old on that one, and the iPhone 4S, I believe around 4 years old now. So I use the phone on the left for just personal stuff, and the phone on the right's usually got a work SIM in it, so it acts as the work phone. Both are okay, but probably looking at replacing both in the future with a dual SIM phone so I don't have to carry 2 around for work and stuff, so that'd be pretty good. So the keyboard here is a Philco Magistouch 2 Ninja, so it's the Ninja edition because basically the tops of the keys are blank and it's got the printing on the sides here. I have actually replaced all of the letter keys with these blank orange red keys here because why not? I don't really look at the keyboard and I thought it was pretty cool. Probably will look at replacing the rest of the keys in the future, but I don't think I've really bothered to memorize the positions of all the symbols yet, so I just haven't gone ahead with that yet. Probably a case of just need to do it and get used to it kind of thing, so yeah, maybe in the future. The stands that the phones are on, I don't actually know what specifically these are. They were just random aluminium stands that I found on eBay. I like them because they're really strong, so like if you push down on it, they don't bend at all, which is good because these phones have the power buttons on the top. So when I'm sitting at the computer, I can just easily push down to turn the phone on, so to display the screen, and I don't have to worry about the phone, the stand sliding or moving around at all. Unlike these guys over here, which, like, look at that one. It's so cheap plastic, it'd probably snap if I pushed down on it. This one is nice and strong, although it does slide around a little bit. I do like that it has the rubber there on the top, which protects the phone from scratching against the stand. That's a really nice touch, which these ones don't actually have, but yeah, I like these because they're just really strong, nice and tough. So the tablet here is Samsung Galaxy Tab Pro 10.1. We're gonna focus. And it's just the Wi-Fi only one because I don't take it out of the house, so no need for 3G or anything like that. It's 16 gig. Yeah, I mainly use it for Twitter and just light ebook reading. So the mouse pad here is Razer Control Edition. I've had it for like 5 years. It works pretty good. The mouse is Logitech MX Performance. Not too old. I did have the MX Revolution before this, which I really liked, which is why I picked this up. Although probably pretty interested in getting the newer, I think it's the MX Master Mouse to replace it. It's mainly because I've had a lot of issue with the rubber on the side here, just coming off over time onto my fingers. So yeah, it'd be good to see if that new mouse fixes that problem. So that's my laptop, MacBook Pro 13-inch 2012 version. It's got the Retina display, i5 CPU at 2.5 GHz, turbos to 3.1, 128 gig SSD, 8 gig of RAM. Got Windows 7 on it, so dual booted with OS X. And the reason I got this actually is because at the time it was just the best laptop that I could get. So I was looking for something that was priced decently, had a good battery, was lightweight and portable, and had good specs, and the MacBook Pro actually won compared to any other laptops at the time that I was looking at. So yeah, I picked that up and I've been using it ever since. Here I've just got Canon 50mm 1.8 lens, lens cap of the lens I'm using at the moment, which is just the, what is it, 18 to 55mm that comes with the 70D, which is the camera that I'm recording on at the moment. And just a random small camera stand, which I got off eBay for a few dollars. It's pretty flimsy, but yeah, get what you pay for. In the corner here I've got the tripod that I use for filming my video. It's a Davis & Sanford Pro Vista tripod. I got that from Amazon, so yeah, I'll leave a link in the description for that one if you're interested. It's pretty good. I haven't tried any other tripods though, so it's my first one, but yeah, I've been finding that it works pretty good. And the chair here, just basically a basic office chair. I got it from Officeworks, which is just a office supply shop here in Australia. So yeah, does the job, I suppose. Alright, so down on the floor here we've got the subwoofer for the Logitech Z5500D speakers that I mentioned earlier. I mainly use it as a footrest, that's why it's positioned in this weird kind of position here. Over here I've got my CyberPower 1320 watt UPS. So in case you don't know what a UPS is, it's basically a battery. So UPS stands for uninterruptible power supply. Essentially you plug in important things into it, like your computer and monitor and router, that sort of stuff, and then if the power goes out, well, you're running on battery power, so you don't lose any unsaved work. And it gives you time to shut down, stop what you're doing, and safely turn everything off. Or what I do if the power's out for an extended period of time is I'll actually power off the computer and monitor, leave the router in, and then that way I still have Wi-Fi, so I can still use the internet from the laptop until the power comes back on. So yeah, it's definitely cool. I strongly recommend looking into a UPS if you don't have one yet. I've also got the NAS up here plugged into it. So what'll happen if the power runs out if I'm So if the power goes out and then we're running on battery power, say I'm at work or asleep, the NAS will detect that it's running on battery power and it'll just shut itself down rather than powering off and potentially losing any data stored on it. So that's really, really awesome. Excuse the cable mess. I have been looking to fix this. I have a bunch of cable management stuff already that I need to get around to using. The only reason I haven't used it yet is because, as I said at the start of the video, I'm looking at upgrading a lot of stuff in the room, and I just really haven't been bothered to fix this if I'm just going to have to redo it all when I replace, 90% of the stuff down here. So yeah, I might tidy it up. I guess it depends when I'm going to get around to getting all the new stuff in. Down in the corner we've got just Ethernet ports. These basically run to everywhere in the house, so the house was already wired for that when we moved in, which was pretty good. So that one runs to the TV in the lounge room so that we can watch TV shows and movies and stuff straight from the NAS, which is pretty cool. And onto the computer. So yeah, Antec 1200 case. Power supply down there is Corsair AX850. The graphics card is an AMD 6870. There used to be two because I was using them for Bitcoin mining and hash cracking, and one of them I had to RMA because the fan just built up this crazily loud noise over time. So I've just got the one remaining. That massive heatsink on the CPU there is the V10. It's got two fans in it and it's just massive. It builds up dust straight away even if I clean it, so I just haven't bothered lately. When I installed it, I remember thinking it was going to rip out the motherboard because it was just so big and heavy. So yeah, I can't wait to upgrade that to some sort of liquid cooling solution instead of having a massive heatsink like that in future. Motherboard is a Gigabyte something. Don't worry, you wouldn't be too interested. As I mentioned, 5 years old here. The CPU in there is an Intel i7 950 at 3.07 gigahertz. I've got 6 sticks of 2 gigabyte RAM in there, so 12 gig total. Trust me, back in the day it was good. Now it's probably below average. Yeah, that's why I'm keen to upgrade. So hard drives in here, I've got an Intel 520 series 180 gig SSD for the main drive. So that did used to be a 60 gig OCZ drive, which I did replace a couple of years ago because I wanted to improve the speed, and yeah, that was a nice upgrade. The other disk in there is just a WD Green 2 terabyte, which yeah, I've had for 5 years, so I've had a few WD Green disks. I've found a lot of people online saying they're unreliable and stuff like that, but not in my experience. They've been working well for years for me. So yeah, no problems here. And yeah, that's basically it for the PC. A bit big, probably look at getting a smaller case in the future. It's got 12 drive bays, which is mainly why I did get it originally, because I was planning on having a lot of discs, but yeah, then I ended up getting the NAS a few years later instead, which was a better solution, so I don't need a case this big, realistically. So yeah, that's basically that. So over into the cupboard, basically, just a bunch of stuff, like that pile of cables that I've been meaning to sort through for months now. I'll get around to that eventually, probably, maybe, probably not. Guitars and amp, haven't really played those in a long time. And yeah, other than that, mostly just storage, old laptops, old tablets, cables, boxes, that kind of stuff. All the boxes mostly live up here in this big pile. And old hard drives, and those are the cable management racks I was talking about earlier that I need to get around to installing underneath the desk so I can tidy up that mess that you saw earlier. And behind me I've got a couple of softboxes which I'm using at the moment to light up the room because as you can probably see outside, maybe, it's raining today, so pretty dark in here, so I needed the extra light in order to record this. So yeah, that's basically it. Thanks for watching, and I'll do another video once I upgrade to whatever I end up getting in the future. So yeah, we'll be able to see the difference between now and then.